It is never too early to start planning for your taxes, whether the tax return that you're getting ready to fill out right now or thinking ahead towards next year already. Steve Sexton, our Money Minute expert here, decided that a minute was not nearly enough to talk about all the financial things that you need to be thinking about right now. So Steve joins us in studio. Good to see you. Let's talk taxes first off, and then we'll talk about all this other stuff that's going on right now. Strategies for paying the least amount of money right now. What can you still do?
Okay, for 2010, the first thing people can do if they're still working, you need to find out how much you can still put into your IRA. If you can put more into your IRA, go and do it. It'll reduce your taxes for 2010.
Because that comes right off the gross, right?
Mm-hmm. Comes right off the gross. Secondly, in 2011, we still, you know what, they kicked the can down the road, so we got great taxes for the next 2 years, but in 2013 it's going to get bad again. But right now we still have 7 out of 10 people paying taxes on money they're not even spending. Perfect example is a client I met with yesterday. She's got an IRA distribution, she's 70, and it's $26,000. And on top of her other income, it's going to raise her taxes to almost $6,500. If she were just to do small little things like she has a trust account or a non-qualified account where she gets dividends, capital gains, and interest income from, if she were to use tax advantage strategies or deferral or tax-free income strategies, she would eliminate that and reduce her taxes by almost $4,000 a year.
See, what you just said right there is going to be Greek to a lot of folks, probably me included. And what I'm thinking is really folks need to come to you and get some expert advice on strategies here. Even if you think that your finances are really not all that complicated. The tax code is just an unbelievably, ridiculously complicated code.
Well, there's about 7 million words there.
Exactly.
The biggie here with the taxes is this. Most people don't understand how their income flows into their tax return. So that means if they've got a pension, Social Security, and an IRA, that's all flowing on their tax return. If they have other monies that are growing and they're getting that income that's flowing onto the tax return and they don't need it, they're paying taxes on money they're not spending. And that's just falling through the cracks to the tax man. There's no reason why they should be paying more than their fair share.
And the government doesn't send you a nice little note and say, you know, if you had done this, you wouldn't have had to pay so much.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever get a note for overpaying to the IRS?
No.
Like,
now, if you want to plan ahead for next year, what do you start doing right now so that you're in better shape next year and you just simply pay less taxes next year?
Well, it's very, very important. Just like I said, you want to take a look at how that income's flowing onto your tax return. If you're not spending it, you want to move it into a bucket that you would call the tax deferral, tax advantage, or tax-free income strategies. You're still going to get good growth. It's just that you're not going to pay taxes on it. And it's more important that you focus on that not only in the next 2 years, but put something in place before 2013. Because if you have dividends or using that for your income, yeah, you know what, if you get $10,000 in dividends now, you're only going to pay $1,500 in taxes. But in 2013, you're going to pay almost $4,000 in taxes. That's going to hurt a lot of seniors. And plus, you know what, the 10% tax bracket, it's going away to 15. So if you have a 10% tax bracket, you're going to double, you're going to get a 50% increase in your taxes. If you're in a 25, you're going to get almost a 10 or 15% tax bracket because it's going to go up to 28. So there's a lot of things people can do. You just want to plan now. One quick example, I have a client who's retiring in 2012. He's getting $1 million in stock, but he got it at $1 a share, so he's almost going to pay him capital gains of $150,000. But if we put him into a 15% tax bracket, the year he retires, he'll pay 0 in taxes on that. Saves him $150,000. Everyday people can do those things.
So, folks, come see Steve. Call the 800 number, make an appointment, come in and see him. Because, that, again, if it sounds like it's complicated, well, in a lot of respects it is, and that's why he's the expert at this. That's why we have him come in. Talk to me briefly about investment strategies going forward here, because you talk about the herd mentality all the time, and right now there's a stampede on, apparently.
Well, here's the big thing. When the market went down in 2007 and 8, a lot of people many people who weren't sophisticated investors, they put their money into the market thinking it's going to continue to move forward, and then they got hit with the market going down. And then they started moving into bonds. And bonds are going great. They're getting great returns, 8, 10, 12%. The problem is we've had a Fed chairman put almost $1 trillion into bonds, raising the bond prices to a point where they're not of value anymore. And they started coming down. On top of that, we also have inflation. Inflation's the enemy of bonds, which means they start moving down. But right now, we have tons of people who just don't know that are pushing money into bonds because, one, they think it's safe. Two, they think it's a great return, but they could be holding the bag when the bond bubble bursts. In fact, Bill Gross of the PIMCO Fund, he manages all of our $250 billion in bonds, says, hey, the 30-year run on the bond market is over.
So see, this is what happens, folks, if you're part of the herd. So the Sexton Advisory Group, you can talk with Steve. There's the 800 number and also the website, and we'll put more information at our website as well. But when it comes to taxes and investing, don't be guessing, and certainly don't be leaving it alone thinking, oh, it'll be fine. Steve, always great to see you.
Thanks, Mark.
We'll send everybody your way.
Appreciate it.
Again, for more information, go to san diego 6.com.